understand your anger.
This is fucking infuriating! You are a fucking minister of police!
It is not right that young women have to think twice before they go into the public, into the streets. We want to live freely. We want to walk freely.
We're here to tell everybody that we're angry and that we're ready for something to happen.
Women should be more careful, but actually the perpetrators are the men, and that's why we're here today. It's not her fault, but it's his.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Bongi and thank you so much for tuning into this episode of True Crime with Bongi. Today we're going to be covering the case of Uyinene Mrwetyana, and this case took place in Cape Town all the way back in 2019. This case was recommended to me by a viewer called Priska Liniswa, and you guys know me, I deliver, so we're going to be talking about the case of Uyinene Mrwetyana today. But before I get into it, you guys already know that I have to make my usual disclaimer that I mean absolutely no disrespect to anybody that I'm going to be talking about in this video and all the families that were and are affected by this case. This video is purely for educational purposes and the information was gotten off the internet and simply compiled into one video. I make videos like this to spread the word or raise awareness about the crimes that have been committed and to also keep the memories and the spirits of the victims alive. I really apologize if you find anything that I say throughout the video or at any point in my videos offensive, because that is not what I want at all. I don't want to offend anybody. And with that being said, let's just get right into the video. Uyinene Mrwetyana was born on the 20th of April 2000 in East London to parents Norma and Philip Mrwetyana. She grew up in the quiet suburb of Beacon Bay in East London and she attended Hudson Park Primary School. She was described as very full of life and vibrant and outspoken. She almost always had an opinion on current affairs, and if she had an opinion on something, she would let it be known. She wouldn't just keep quiet and keep her opinion to herself. She attended high school in Kingswood College and she matriculated back in 2018. Shortly after matriculating, she enrolled into the University of Cape Town, where her brother Esona was doing his third year to study film and media. Uyinene was also very much into fashion, and it was her love for fashion that would unfortunately lead to her very much untimely death. She had ordered some clothes online, and on the 8th of August 2019, she went to Clarenrage Post Office to inquire about her parcel. While there, she met the 42-year-old post office worker Luyanda Botha, who told her that her parcel was not yet available. He also took her numbers and told her that he would call her when her parcel was available and ready for collection. The parcel arrived on the 16th of August and Luyanda registered it on the same day, but didn't call Uyinene to inform her that her parcel had arrived as he had promised to. On Saturday the 24th of August 2019, he went to work as usual. It was a Saturday, so the post office was going to be closing at 1 p.m. When he got there, he asked his colleague Soraya Abdullah to knock off earlier. I don't think she suspected anything because she did agree and she did knock off earlier than the closing time. Shortly thereafter, he called Uyinene to inform her that her package had arrived and that she should come to collect it. She used the Taxify taxi service to go from her place, which was the university residence, to Clarenrage Post Office. She was last seen getting off the taxi in front of Clarenrage Post Office shortly after the official closing time. When she arrived at the post office, Luyanda unlocked the front door for her to get in, and after she got in, he locked the door. As she searched her bag for some money to pay the custom fees, he started making some sexual advances at her, and this scared her. He quickly grabbed her by the waist and forcibly pulled her towards him and then proceeded to rape her. And she kept fighting him as he was assaulting her. At some point, she managed to run to the door, but he caught up to her and knocked her to the ground. He then dragged her to the safe inside the post office and locked her inside. She was screaming while locked inside the safe, so Luyanda went back inside and attempted to choke her. She kept on fighting him, and so he failed at his attempt. He then grabbed a 2 kg weight used to weigh packages that are received at the post office and used it to bludgeon her to death. Once Uyinene had died, he left the post office and went to a nearby liquor store to grab a drink, as if he hadn't just murdered someone. He returned to the post office shortly thereafter and then covered her body with cushions, a blanket, and a jersey, and then left her there overnight. He went back to the post office during the early hours of Saturday, the 25th of August 2019. The area where her body was covered in blood, and so he cleaned up that area. After cleaning up, he waited until it was dark to get rid of the body. He placed her body in a large postal mail bag and carried it to the car. He then drove her to a field in Lingeletu West and then dumped her body in a shallow hole. From there, he drove to a nearby petrol station, bought some petrol, and then drove back to where he had dumped the body. He doused 19-year-old Uyinene's body with petrol and then set her alight. Uyinene was missing for 9 days, and she gained a lot of media coverage and public attention. It was during this time that the hashtag #BringNeneHome started trending on social media. Her body was found on the 26th of August, but it was only identified as hers days later. Once her body had been identified as Uyinene's body, the police pieced together the final picture of Uyinene's final moments, and Luyanda Botha was arrested. He confessed to killing Uyinene and even hiring someone to clean up his car. Following Luyanda Botha's arrest, remembrances and memorial services were held at the University of Cape Town and some at the University of Witwatersrand. A large protest was held at the World Economic Forum of Africa in Cape Town on the 4th of September, where President Cyril Ramaphosa was present. He also attended an even larger protest outside the Houses of Parliament in Cape Town on the following day, and this protest was attended by thousands of people. The hashtag #MINext gained prominence during this time, and it became the motive behind several of the protests. Uyinene's rape and murder precipitated a widely spread public outcry. It even reached Lesotho. It was international. This public outcry led to a 2-day campus shutdown at the University of Cape Town. Luyanda Botha confessed at the magistrate's court to committing the murder at the post office in Clarenrage, and on the 15th of November 2019, he was given 3 life sentences for the rape and murder of Uyinene Mrwetyana. He will be eligible for parole after serving 25 years of his sentence. On the 29th of November 2019, the Uyinene Mrwetyana Foundation was founded in Makhanda in Eastern Cape in celebration of her life. The Uyinene Mrwetyana Scholarship was also founded for female students in the Humanities faculty at the University of Cape Town. Uyinene's funeral was very emotional, you guys. I remember watching it back in 2019 and, you know, crying. And I also watched it a few days ago. I watched little clips of the funeral a few days ago, and I was fighting back my tears. It was extremely, extremely emotional. Her mother wrote her a letter, and another person read it for her at the funeral. In this letter, she said, "I will miss you. I will miss your outspokenness. You were the one that always pushed me to speak. You would say, 'Thetha mama, vula umlomo, my uyi uyi.'" The letter went on to say, "I'm sorry that I warned you about all other places but not the post office. I'm sorry I was not there to fight for you, my girl. I love you, my girl." Her older brother, Esona, also spoke at the funeral. He said that he always dreamt of a future in which he would take his children to their auntie's place, and he was robbed of that. He said to her, "I know you're in a better place where there is no sickness, no anxiety, and no stress, but only pure joy and peace. The one thing that I'll hold on to is that to your last breath, you were fighting." It was very emotional, like I said. As he was fighting back his tears, I was choking on mine. it was very hard for me to take. It was very hard for me to watch. The fact that it still brings tears to me years later makes it very difficult for me to imagine what the family must be going through. It's very hard, and like I said in my previous videos, I think people I think people often think of these things as stories instead of cases, and the thing is, this is real life. People are actually affected by the things that we talk about on this channel, and I want you guys to always remember that. Always. It is definitely one of the most saddest cases that I've ever covered, and you guys know that I cover a lot of sad cases. My heart really goes out to Uyinene's family and the families of all the other victims that I've spoken about on my channel. I think the saddest part about this case is that Uyinene was killed by a stranger, and at a location that's so, like, and I want to say at a setting that none of us would have imagined. So I think that's why a lot of people resonated with it. It really brought to light the reality that anything can literally happen to us at any place. It doesn't matter whether you know the person or not, or whether you think the place is safe or not. So you guys, please, 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 please stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. I cannot stress that enough. That brings us to the end of today's video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And if you have any case suggestions, leave them in the comment section down below. Just like I delivered with this video, I will definitely deliver with any of your case suggestions. I'll see you guys in my next one. Please stay safe. Bye.